Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Hentges with Beyond the Chart, and in this Chinese stock market update, we're going to take a look at the Shanghai Composite and check in on two very actively traded Chinese stocks that are traded in the United States. So stay tuned. All right, so we're going to start off here looking at the Shanghai Composite. So you can see we've basically had a sideways push. I was looking at this thinking we had maybe a little rising wedge in here, but if it really was a rising wedge, when we got this break here, I really believe that wedges, when they break out of the wedge, it rapidly goes down to the bottom down here. And this is stalled out for 2 weeks. So I'm really skeptical that that's what's going on. But now, as you notice, when we look at the low here of March 29th and the low that was made on this big day here, the big down day on April 20th, and you draw a horizontal line, you've got a little bit of a head and shoulders top in here. And, you know, again, what are we reversing? We're reversing this intermediate kind of a counter trend move that was made. It does look overlapping to me. I can see that the 5 waves in here are pretty clear, but the fact that we came down and overlapped in here, that's what makes me think that we've got, that this is a counter trendish type reversal type, or not reversal, corrective type of action is what's going on, because corrective waves are always going to be overlapping type waves. So now what I'm watching for is we've got the 10 exponential breaking below the 21. I'm watching for this now to come down and break through this support here at about 2,900. So that's the Shanghai Composite. Let's take a look at the two active stocks. Shanghai plus 2. The first one I'm going to look at is one I've watched quite a bit before, VipShop Holdings, and I've taken it off my radar because I don't like to trade for options trading stocks that are less than $15 a share. You just don't get the bang for the buck with the options, and even it's a stretch below 20, but I start to look at them in the 15 and 20 range. So anyway, VipShop has come down quite a bit. Let's take a look at a weekly chart, and you'll see the entire move here of this stock since it went public. And when did it come public? Back here in March 2012. And so it has had a huge move. It's a very, very popular stock, very actively traded. And then we got this little rising wedge here, and we came down out of it, or actually it was more of an ending diagonal, what I call an ending diagonal on the final wave up. And then we've done nothing but correct ever since then. And so when we look at this is a weekly chart. I could draw a trend line across the top of this corrective action. Let's go back to the daily chart. So when I look at here, we're starting to get a little bit, it's trying to put in a turn, but it actually did it once before here also. So the thing I was going to point out, I guess, let me go back to the weekly chart for a second. 2 things I wanted to point out about the weekly chart on VipShop. Let me make sure I'm pressing the right key so I drill in. Okay, number 1, I don't think we're going to have the end of this until this 10-week crosses above the 20-week. You notice how it started to and tried to here, and then look at this collapse. So it never did make a cross in here. I think that's going to be step number 1 that's got to have happen to make you start to think, okay, the bottom's in. The second thing is looking for a break of this trend line. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to point out is, looking at this whole distance here, this doesn't look like it's corrected that much, but actually point-wise, because we're talking about 30 down here to almost 10, and this came from, where? Down here, split adjusted, of course, a low of 41 cents. So when you look at what it's done, this has corrected well over 61.8%, a deep retracement. So it has had a deep retracement on this stock. So, looking to see if this is going to start to turn, that's what we'll be watching for on VipShop. All right, the second one we'll take a look at is JD.com. Now, VipShop is an online discount retailer for branded products. JD.com is an online electronics and home appliance retailer, both to, the Chinese market which happens to be, of course, as everyone knows, almost 25% of the world's population. So this is another very, very actively traded stock. As a matter of fact, when I look at the 50-day moving average of the volume, it's 11 million shares is the 50-day moving average. So there's a lot of activity on this stock. Now, a couple of things about this stock, and then that'll be it for today. One thing I've noticed, it's only been trading since the week ending May 23rd, 2014. So just about 2 years exactly this month. And it looks to me like the 22 level is a floor in here. The other thing I notice is looks like there's a symmetrical triangle that's forming in here. So watching that closely. Now if we go back to the daily chart, the other thing that I looked at, we broke this trend line. There's the possibility that it could be setting up some kind of reverse. I am going to start watching this stock as a part of my portfolio that I trade options on and generate trade ideas for my insider members, because I like the volume that's traded. I like the liquidity and the number of options that are traded on this stock. So it's going to be really, really interesting. Now earnings are coming out on Monday, so I doubt if we're going to step in front of anything here. But this is going to be an interesting stock to watch, and I think it's got a lot of possibilities. All right, so that's Shanghai Plus 2. Hope you found that helpful. If you did, please share the video and like it and subscribe to the YouTube. And if you're not watching this on my website, head on over to the website and check out the posts over there and the other things that I've got for you. All right, this has been Joe from Beyond the Chart. Have a great day. See you on the next video.